As for diversity and strategic success, while Johnson highlights that organizations undertaking a limited degree of related diversification are likely to perform better than those that remain undiversified. So it's better to diversify, but it's something that you are a bit familiar with. However, as the degree of diversification increases, the rate of performance improvement is likely to reduce and actually may become negative as organizations become extensively diversified into unrelated fields. And actually, when we're talking about diversification by means of acquiring something, unfortunately, acquisitions quite often destroy value. Quite often, the price that is paid for acquisitions is too high compared to the value. International diversification. The growth in number of organizations diversifying their organizations internationally has been driven by globalization because now, because of the internet, because of availability to travel fast, it is much easier compared to what it was before. And globalization refers to the growing interdependence of countries worldwide through increased trade, increased capital flow, so it's really easy and cheap to transfer money, and rapid diffusion of technology. We have a term that is called management orientation. So this is international product or market diversification that requires organizations to adopt an appropriate management orientation. And this means that we need to look at ethnocentrism, polycentrism, and geocentrism. So this is about how we treat how special we treat the location. So ethnocentrism means that we will look at just our home country and we are going to concentrate here. And we are going to focus on domestic market, and exports are going to be seen as secondary, and we will try to exploit whatever it is the domestic country, like languages. Well, for example, if we're talking about ACCA courses, there are some ACCA courses that, despite that are online, but still they target mainly a single country because they are taught in some different language, like in French or like in Hindu. So the management orientation will be closer to ethnocentrism. With polycentrism, there will be an assumption that it would be necessary to adapt almost totally the product and marketing program to each local environment. So we will talk about adaptation. So the various country subsidiaries of multinational corporations will be free to formulate their own objectives and plans. So, for example, when we're talking about languages, then maybe there will be a global company, but in let's say one country they will use, let's say Farsi, in one country they will use French, and so on. Or maybe they will learn that this country cares a lot about the environment, so they will be inclined to talk about environment. Some countries value, let's say, cost effectiveness, so they will try to become as cheap as possible to the customer, and so on. And geocentrism and regioncentrism are synthesis of these two previous orientations. They are based on the assumption that actually there are both similarities and differences between countries that can be incorporated into regional or world objectives and strategies. So something is going to be so similar it will not need adapting. Geocentric companies are going to use something that we call integrated approach to marketing management. So each country's conditions will be given due consideration, but no one country is going to dominate. In practice, it's not entirely true because quite often the headquarter country is going to dominate because that is where the research and development marketing team is going to be located. And a great deal of experience and commitment will be required to make this approach work. And geocentrically oriented companies promote the benefit of market convergence. Convergence means that we are going to actually overlap them a little bit and blend them together. So that is diversity. And once again, the things that you need to know about thinking about how to expand and what products to develop. You need to consider the stage of the product so that you don't end up with having too many stores or too many dogs. You would need to think about whether you want to try to develop new product, new market, or both, whether your strategy for diversification would be related, or maybe you are going to look at similar products, competitive products, or complementary products, or maybe you will try to diversify your value chain. And that is what I wanted for you to learn. And I will see you next. Bye.